Bror Fredrik coming at you with another video. I gotta admit, this isn't really a video I wanted to make, nor am I going to enjoy making it, but I think it's a video that indeed had to be made for several reasons. And what's today's video? Well, you saw the thumbnail. I'm gonna tell you the two top dirtiest restrooms on the Las Vegas Strip. And I'm gonna temper that with the two cleanest restrooms on the Las Vegas Strip. Again, not the most thrilling subject, but I think I need to put it out there. I debated this for days, but we're gonna get into the topic right after this. So I know I'm supposed to do, according to the powers that be or the experts, I'm supposed to do things in fives. The five top place to eat shrimp, the 5 words places to eat shrimp. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna give you a 2 and a 2. The 2 top filthiest restrooms on the Las Vegas Strip, and the 2 cleanest restrooms on the Las Vegas Strip. But before I do that, I gotta preface it by saying a few things. One, I am talking about public restrooms on the casino floors and the casino public areas proper, not the actual rooms themselves and the restrooms there. I'm talking about the public, fully accessible to everyone restrooms on the casino floor or in the shop areas or whatever the case may be. 2, for all the people out there who are probably saying, but hey, Bror Fredrik, millions of people a year are taking a whiz in that bathroom, so of course it's going to be a little dirty here and there. Okay, to that I have to tell you that the properties that I am going to talk about employ full-time attendants in these bathrooms. Granted, I would not like to have a bathroom as my office, but there are people who literally have a bathroom as their office. They're employed to be in the bathroom, maintaining these bathrooms 24/7. So that's a whole different thing than your standard run-of-the-mill. All right, next thing I wanted to preface with is saying that I did not take pictures. Now, I can take pictures or I can't take pictures, but I thought taking pictures of how nasty things can get in these specific 2 properties, but, you know, this reflects on a lot of the properties as a whole. I'm not going to do that. I didn't do that. I did not feel that would be appropriate. I think it'd be gross, and I don't even know the ramifications of doing it. I was not going into a bathroom with a camera. I have 2 eyeballs, and I got 20/20 vision, and I can see. And so can you. So get off your phone or whatever you're doing in the bathroom, minding your drink. And I suggest don't bring drinks and food into the bathroom. That's kind of nasty. But anyhow, I digress. Look down and look for yourself and tell me I'm wrong. All right, the last preface I'm going to make before I get into this list is the following. I am not your typical Las Vegas tourist. I do not come here for 3 days. I'm not dazzled by the lights. I'm not overwhelmed with show tickets and being over here, being over there, walking with beer across the street. None of that. You know, I'm not worried about a lot that a tourist might overlook these things. Bear in mind that for, I would say, the past 5 years, I've been on the Strip 5 out of 7 days. And in those 5 out of 7 days, I've probably used the bathroom no less than once, up to 3 times, depending on what I'm doing, how I'm hydrating, whatever the case may be. So I'm getting a lot of exposure to look inside these places. So 5 times 52 times 5 times 3, that's the amount of time I've been in restrooms. And again, I'm talking about men's restrooms because I haven't been in the ladies'. Hey ladies, in the comments, I want to hear your top 2 and your bottom 2 because that needs to be discussed also. Okay, so let's get into it. What is my criteria for a clean restroom? Well, one that I don't have to step in puddles of whiz just to go in. That grosses me out on a level that I cannot describe. And I see dudes doing it all the time, standing in front and standing in a puddle of pee. And I find that utterly gross, number one. Number two, almost beyond comprehension, because I sit and I go, why are these guys willing to, I mean, some guys in flip-flops and whatever. I mean, granted, bathrooms are not clean places. Oh, and yes, I do have a UV light, and, you know, that's my old light. I've showed it a million times already, and I do flash them around the places, but there's almost no need to do it in these places because you can see the visible puddles of pee in front of every single urinal and sometimes the bowls too. So that why people are willing to stand in front of it, and why in it, not in front of it, in it. And then it like, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, because even if the guy's like, hey, I don't want to stand in a puddle of pee, so he backs up a couple inches and he's falling short. And then the next guy backs up a couple inches and he's falling short. And then the next guy backs up a couple inches, or has a prostate problem and is dribbling everywhere. Or more likely, it's a case of just drunk people just whipping it around in the air and whatnot. And the other reason I'm bringing this up too is, yes, I want the video to be successful. That's the goal of all YouTubers. But I want it to serve as a wake-up call, because I know the properties listen to this. I mean, I just don't understand why other people don't complain and be like, yo, could you send someone in there to clean up this freaking bathroom? I do that. I mean, I do it, but I'm one person. But as long as people continue to settle and have, it's like, low expectations about everything, including Las Vegas, it'll continue like this. So I'm hoping this is a wake-up call to the properties that they actually start doing something about this, because quite frankly, it's freaking nasty on a whole level of nastiness. Sorry about that. I had to pause because the copyright music from the fountains was blasting and I could hear it inside the vehicle. So I know YT's gonna hear it too. So let's get back at it. One of the things I did want to say, I mean, maybe it's TMI, maybe it's not, but me personally, I have never dropped a deuce in a public bathroom on the Las Vegas Strip. So my experiences are limited into, how would you say, draining the weasel. Okay, now that that's completely out of the way, I think everything is off my chest. Here come the list. It's almost a tie for number one and number two. No pun intended. However, I think I will start. I think the number one property sort of edges out the number two property on a couple levels. But let's get into number two. He said number two. Oh, these bumps. Yeah, nice going, F1. Okay, here we go. I'm going to say Caesar's Palace. Caesar's Palace. Again, this list might surprise a few people. Caesar's Palace, by far. Caesar's Palace used to be my spot. That used to be my jam. That used to be the place to be in 2003, you know, but nowadays, you know, it is what it is. It's still holding its own, kinda. However, the bathrooms, oh my God, the bathrooms, not all of them. That's why they're not going to get top billing in this video. Not all of them. Some of them do tend to be slightly cleaner than the rest, but oh my God, Caesar's Palace. Let me just start off with, can you hear these bumps? Oh my God, I got to shift lanes. This is brutal. This is like four-wheel driving on the Las Vegas Strip. Okay. I'll start off with that main bathroom that's in the center of the slot area where you have to take the escalators down. You know the one I'm talking about. It's flanked with ATM machines. For as long as I can remember, which is at least 20 years, there's been an odor. Are there plumbers out there? Back me up. If you're a plumber or know plumbing, back me up on this. There is a sewer gas smell that emanates from that basement. You can stand at the top of those escalators and smell the sewer gas. And what that's indicative of is a severe plumbing problem or P-traps that have dried out. When a P-trap gets dried out, that's the little freaking thing at the bottom. It holds water, it prevents sewer gas from coming back up. If those get dried out and someone's not tossing a bucket of water in every freaking urinal and toilet bowl in the place, they get dry and it allows sewer gas to back up. So you're smelling raw sewer come up back through the urinals. I don't know if that's the case, but in my experience in gyms and even my own house, when I've gone away for a long time or haven't used a bathroom, I'm like, damn, gotta fill up the P-trap. And they also do have certain back valves that you can install. That way that doesn't happen. Maybe they don't have them due to the age of the property, but holy freaking cow. I mean, when you go down there, it is a gag fest. You can literally smell it inside the casino if you got a halfway decent nose. And trust me, I do not have the best sense of smell going. And even I can smell sewer gas. It smells like rotten freaking eggs. It is foul. But that's something they haven't addressed. Like I said, as long as I've been going to Vegas, that's been a thing. So we're talking about a 20-year-old situation, and no one is going to say nothing about it. I'm sure people know about it, but not my job, man. All right. The bathrooms. Oh, my God. There's one in specific in the food court that is a freaking filth fest. I mean, granted, it's always backed up with people because, it's the most common one. You might have to take a leak or whatever, when you're eating, before you're eating, after eating, whatever the case may be. So the amount of people, it's like standing room only. There's only room for 2 people. There's a number 2 station and a number 1 station in there. And there's usually like 4 guys just standing around inside, and then there's a line outside. I gotta make a turn over here somewhere. Okay, so granted, it does get a lot of use. However, like I was saying earlier in the video, there is a full-time attendant, and outside those 2 bathrooms, it's a man's and a woman's bathroom side by side, they have a cabinet in there with supplies. What are they doing in there? I literally watch the attendants. The last thing they attend to is the actual facility. They will check. I see them in there washing down the mirrors. Yeah, great. Wash down the mirror. That's freaking awesome. It's awesome. Wiping up the counter, keeping the paper towels stocked. But they walk around the P just like everyone else does. And the piece in there could be like a 2-foot diameter. It's just like it boggles my mind. It blows my freaking mind that they allow it. And it's someone's full-time job. So in the job description, is it like, hey, as long as the mirrors are good and dudes can take selfies in there, which I've never seen them do, all's well. Don't worry about the pee. The pee will evaporate someday. It'll go somewhere. I mean, these are 24-hour operations with 24-hour attendance, and they're ignoring it. Okay, granted, your job sucks. I get it. Your job sucks, but you're getting paid, bro. You took the job. You signed on the line, You're probably part of the union, so do your job. So, and then, again, that goes with a lot of the properties, a lot of the other bathrooms on this property. They're just maintained at the bare minimal level. And that freaking sewer gas one, that's bad. I'm not an expert. Some of you experts can chime in. I have no affiliation with nothing, the health department, nothing. But my thinking is sewer gas cannot possibly be a healthy thing in your lungs to be breathing. And why no one's addressed it, and as far as I know, at least 2 decades. And again, this is my opinion. Don't get bent. This whole entire video is my opinion. But I hope people listen. So Caesars, if you're listening, retrain or rehire your bathroom attendants, because it's not a good look for the property. Even if people are willing to stand in the pee, they should not have to. Okay, moving on to the next property and the last property on this list of what I consider the filthiest public men's restrooms on the Las Vegas Strip. Again, gonna surprise you. You might think it's like, you know, one of these no-tell motels over here or something like that. It is not. And unfortunately, it is a place that I love. It is a place that is near and dear to my heart. It is a place that I spend, I wouldn't say half my time, but maybe a third of my time, especially in my my non-business capacity. In business, you know, I'll meet people wherever they happen to be, wherever they choose to be. You know, it's more of a consensus. But given my own selection, hey, where do you want to hang out tonight? If I'm with friends, bros, you know, close business associates, I always pick the Bellagio. Yes, you heard right. The Bellagio. Bellagio. I love you, bro and broettes. But holy freaking cow, there is not a day, there is not a month, there's not an hour, there's not a location, there's not a urinal in that freaking place that does not have a puddle in front of it. I mean, straight up gross, yo. I mean, I'm talking from the bathroom by the conservatory, and you come out of the parking garage. I mean, and you gotta understand that, again, there is attendance. I mean, in Bellagio, they are literally stationed in there. That is their freaking office for their shift. They are literally in there, and they keep busy, but it's an illusion of busy. Because, again, paper towels, stock, check. Wipe down the counter, check. Wipe off the mirrors from everyone who sneezed their germs on it, check. Wipe down the mirrors and the walls from everyone who frickin' hocked a loogie on it because they lost their whole bankroll on some weird frickin' slot machine with 8 8s and babies flying stalks. They'll clean that. They'll clean that because that's the forward-facing look. You know, they don't want to look bad, but holy shit, the floors are gross. And, I mean, we're talking in every single one. The only ones that might be better, but still get neglected in the freaking puddle of pee arena are the ones towards the convention, the ones by the grand court that you sit outside, and we do live streams once in a while, but holy freaking cow. That place is just like, I mean, I want to burn my freaking shoes when I get out of there. But here's the kick in the freaking nads. I see them mopping. I literally see them mopping. Oh, well, isn't that good, Bror Fredrik? Okay. What they mop is the center. I literally see them swipe the center, like the main walking areas, but they're flanked by urinals on both sides, but they will mop the center. I mean, how hard is it to slide something on the pee? Now, granted, now you're moving pee all over the place, but at least it's not a freaking puddle. But they'll do the center and leave the piles. I've literally witnessed that. I would love to video it, but it's in a freaking bathroom. Do you hear these bumps? These streets should be paved with freaking gold. And I'm four-wheel driving on the Las Vegas Strip. Oh, I'm digressing. Let me get back on track. But holy cow, how hard is it to pass it in front of the urinals? Now, it might be a liability issue. It might be like, all right, well, if you wipe and the urinals themselves are directly in them, someone's gonna slip and crack their head on one of the porcelain thrones or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what takes place behind the scenes. All I know is I have not, in all these years that I've been here, not when they first opened, but all the most recent years, the past 5 years, the past 10 years, it is nothing but pools of pee in front of every freaking urinal. And it smells like pools of pee. I've literally been in airport bathrooms throughout the United States that are cleaner. I don't know about the ones here in Vegas, but I mean, come on. They're beautiful. Yes, you keep the mirrors. Yes, you polish the faucets. These guys are doing their job, but I don't want to do that job either. But you're being paid for it. Someone has to do it. So, Bellagio, I love yous. I love yous. But clean the freaking bathrooms properly so I don't have to freaking disinfect, you know? I mean, oh my God. And you guys too. All right, let me just call out the guys for a second here. Quit freaking whipping it out and peeing left, right, and center. I mean, be a little consistent in how you freaking pee, you know? Stop leaning and, you know, like, oh, the drunk stupor and wherever it goes, you know? I mean, aim. How hard is it to freaking aim? So it's partly your problem too, you know? I mean, you're the ones making it harder on the attendants. I mean, watch where you're freaking peeing. How hard is that? I mean, come on now. But, you know, and if you're a dribbler, go get your freaking prostate checked. You know, whatever the case may be. But, you know, I can't hold everyone harmless in this conversation, but, you know, watch where you're freaking peeing. I mean, you guys know. I mean, let's just face it. If you've ever, okay, ladies, you might not know this, but the guys should, at least at the bare minimum, take a whiz in a urinal with shorts on. That's all I'm saying. You will feel the splashback. You know, unless like me, if I'm wearing shorts, I kind of angle it. I bounce it. It's like a game of pool. I slide it down the sidewall so it just comes around and doesn't splash back. But if you're just whipping it out and just placing it like directly in front of you, it's splashing back. It's splashing back on your shirt, on your belt, on your legs, on your shoes. It's just going in freaking everywhere. So, you know, learn that freaking little side angle deal, you know? It's just like, you know, side hole, corner pocket type of thing. You know? All right. So let's get back into it. So enough of freaking grossing everyone out, because you can hear me? I'm getting the heebie-jeebies right now. So let's get into the 2 cleanest restrooms in 2 other properties I spend a lot of time in. I'm going to hit you with the obvious one first. And then I'll hit you with the surprise one. You ready for the obvious one? Here goes. This should not surprise anybody, but it is indeed the Win-Core, the Win and the Encore. By far, the cleanest restrooms. And when I'm making this conversation, I'm also including some of the high limit rooms in these places are not the cleanliest either. However, Bellagio's his pals. The Win-Core is clean. I'm not talking about, you know, eating off the floor. That's freaking nasty, but not like wanting to cut your feet off after you're done taking a whiz in there. I mean, they're clean. They're nice. I see them constantly maintaining, constantly going underneath. And the people who, again, full-time attendants, the people who are in these bathrooms, and again, I'm addressing the men's rooms, ladies, you could talk about it in the comment section. They're attentive. I mean, they remember, I mean, I go in there and they're like, hey, Bror Fredrik, what up? I haven't been here in a month, bro. You know, and of course I tip them. I tip the attendants who are keeping the bathroom cleanly for me. I'm not just tipping the ones who are like ignoring the obvious and jumping up and down in the puddles of pee like everyone else. But these guys, no, I'm duking them $5-10 all the time. Or not like every time I go and take a leak, but you know, at least the first time, because they're doing their job. They're making me less heebie-jeebied. It's freaking nasty, but they keep it clean. Yes, the windows, I mean the mirrors, yes, the sinks, yes, the faucets, but they keep the urinals and the bowls as clean as they possibly can. I mean, they're not like, you know, once a guy walks out of the stall, they're not like, oh my God, and they're racing in there or anything. So the best that they can, and that's okay. I understand how bathrooms work, but to just neglect them is a whole nother story. So, the crown of cleanliest bathrooms in all of the Las Vegas Strip, in this guy's opinion, is indeed the Win-Core, the Win and the Encore. So props to you, shout outs to you. You're doing it right, and that's what keeps me coming back and recommending it to my peoples. So yeah. All right, you want to hear the number 2? This one might surprise you. You know, might not be ready for this one. And it's one that I do spend some time in. The Horseshoe. Yes, you heard me right. The Horseshoe. The Horseshoe is another property where the attendants in there do a very, very good job. So shout out to you. You're holding it down. You're holding it up. Whatever you're doing, you're doing. Let me explain this a second. Now, I've never seen them in there. It's not their office space. They do have to go in there, but I never seen anyone standing in there with a mop in one hand and, you know, Windex in the other, like the Win. You know, that's their MO. At the Horseshoe, when they clean the bathroom, they clean the bathroom. I mean, I've witnessed it several times well, I don't know if I can say a week, but definitely on a monthly basis when I go in there. I mean, dude is literally in there with like a big ass industrial squirt bottle of some blue shit that's just like, I don't know what kind of magic it does, but they're literally in there standing in front of each urinal like, psh, 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 like the whole thing, 100% coverage with this blue shit. Psh, 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 psh. And he's going in there, of course he's got the gloves on and everything, but he's going in there and he's polishing the freaking thing. Win does the same thing, but they do it aggressively over there. They're like underneath. They're cleaning underneath. And it's like, you couldn't pay me. I mean, I'm not putting these people down, but you could not pay me, even with a glove on, to swipe my hand underneath a urinal. But I've seen these cats do it. I mean, God bless them, and I hope they are well paid, and tip the frickin' dudes, even if they're not a regular attendant. If you're walking by, just be like, bro, what's $5 to you? Nothing when you're in Vegas. Make the dude's day. Make him feel like he's not like sacrificing his life to clean other people's pee. Do something for bro, you know? Give him a 5, but dude in there, the sides, the top, the inside, the handles with the stuff. And I've seen one dude, he's like, he threw that towel, the first towel that he used, he threw that away and then followed up with a clean one. So he's not just smearing around the DNA. I'm just like, whoa. And I've seen this over and over and over. It's just how they're trained. Who's ever like saying, yo, this is what we expect, these people are doing it. Granted, this is a place that, you know, they check to see how much is in your machine before they even bring you a bottle of water, so they're a little strict and whatnot. But evidently something's paying off. So huge shout out to the crew over at the Horseshoe for keeping the bathrooms as clean as humanly possible, and not only clean, but disinfected too. So big shout out, big props. And you know who else I want to give big props to? I want to give big props to you for coming along for this ride. And I'm going to invite you to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell button to get notified when I drop new videos. And I hope you found this one informative. And don't forget to drop the 9% word of the day. I'll put it up somewhere here, wherever the case may be. And don't forget to check me out on my own streaming platform, which is brorfredrik.com, where I dive into the deep subjects, not just Vegas, but life in general. And of course, my sponsors, Tej Hanley and Olight, discount links and coupon codes in the description. Support them. It's a way to support me, and I do appreciate your support. And on that note, Bror Fredrik out.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.